the vessels, or the receptors, the receptors that monitor pressure are called baroreceptors. Baro is the prefix that means pressure, like a barometer measures pressure. So baroreceptors are what measure pressure. And we have them in arteries, and two arteries in particular. Anybody want to make a guess where you might want to have them? If you had to say what's the most important artery, which would you say? The aorta. That makes sense. It's the largest. And if you had to say what's the second most important artery, which one would it be? Carotid, right, going to the brain. So in the aorta and the common carotid arteries are where you have these baroreceptors. And the baroreceptor actually is monitoring stretch. So they will, with a particular amount of stretch, they will fire action potentials at a particular frequency. If you have an increase in stretch, they increase the frequency of action potentials. Right? A decrease in stretch, you get a decrease in the frequency of action potentials. And where are these action potentials going? They're going to the brain. In fact, they're going to the medulla. There's a place called cardiovascular center in the medulla that's perceiving these. That's how it knows, so to speak, whether or not blood pressure is too high or too low is by the frequency with which those are coming in. So if blood pressure is high, what happens to the rate of firing? Blood pressure is high, more stretch or less stretch? More stretch. More stretch is more frequency of action potentials to the CNS. And what do we do in the CNS? CNS is where we do integration. What should the CNS say? Should the CNS say, oh, blood pressure is too high or blood pressure is too low? Blood pressure is too high. So we're going to send signals away from here now, away from the CNS, back this way, to an effector, right? And the effector that it's going to go to is smooth muscle. And does it cause an increase or a decrease in contraction of smooth muscle? Yeah, decrease smooth muscle contraction. That causes vasodilation or vasoconstriction?
Dilation.
Vasodilation, right? Less contracting means that they're relaxing, so the vessels open up. And tell me what happens to blood pressure.
Decreases.
Decrease in blood pressure. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, because we started with blood pressure too high. What is this an example of?
Homeostasis.
Yeah, negative feedback, homeostatic reflex arc, right? Using the baroreceptor reflex.